There we are. Welcome back. Well, you certainly look worse for the wear, my friend. You're lucky. I don't know what happened to you, but a rather large fellow brought you here. Not a moment too soon. Just a bit longer and you would have been meeting your programmer. Keep it to yourself. I don't know if you can tell, but this is a far cry from a proper hospital. And the fact that you were brought here means you were up to something you shouldn't have been. And someone wants the thing you were up to stay secret. I'm more than willing to help heal you up. You know, Hippocratic Oath and all. But I'm not interested in becoming an accomplice to something less than legal. No offense. Well, just because you were doing something against the law doesn't automatically make you a bad person. But just in case you are, I don't want to hear about it. I'm glad you're here, though. I did a quick scan while you were out cold, and all the things you need to function to keep you alive are working. At least working enough. But now that I've got you stabilized, I can run a couple more scans to see exactly what's wrong. Oh no, don't worry. With modern medicine and technology, most procedures can be done with minimum invasiveness. Just because I'm a back alley doctor doesn't mean I don't run a proper hospital. I am still a doctor after all. In fact, this should be quite relaxing. Might even fall asleep. Feel free to, I'll just keep working. Alright, go ahead and sit back again and get nice and comfortable. And it should take just a few minutes for the scan to run and then process. And go ahead and relax for me. And try to lay as still as you can. That's it, just like that. This underground clinic doesn't only serve unsavory criminals like yourself. Allegedly. Back in the day, healthcare was accessible to everyone. When I was first starting out as a doctor, advances in medicine were reaching a point where just about any ailment could be cured with genetic editing. Technology like that is going to be the kind of thing that changes the entire course of humanity, so of course it wouldn't last undisturbed for long. This was all happening as the tech industry was starting its foray into brain-powered computer systems. Another incredible technology, but when men learn new technologies, that doesn't mean that they learn how to use it properly. It became a mad dash to buy up as much of this market as possible. Companies left and right were trying to recruit people to go into these experimental programs where computers are inserted into the human brain to power advanced AI programs and androids. How do you get people to voluntarily do something like that? Sounds awful, right? It is. But some of the companies with deep pockets started buying out medical institutions with access to gene therapy tech and started holding it for ransom, only allowing it to be used by their employees, or for a very high price, of course. So all of those technologies that normal people can't get access to I provide here for free. And to some certain groups in exchange for protection. Okay, now let's process the scans, see what we've got. A few cybernetic implants, but nothing too intrusive. Okay. Looks like most of your organs haven't been replaced with cybernetics or tampered with. Looks like a pretty expensive brain chip in there. Wonder how you got the money for that. Actually, I don't want to know. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. Okay. Overall, not too bad. Whatever took you out must have just pulsed your brain chip until you passed out, because your actual injuries aren't too bad. Well, let's start with the easy stuff. These little cuts and scrapes need to be closed up, so I'm going to spread this salve on them. It has nanobot mechanics inside it. And these little nanobots are going to get into your tissue and start secreting these little threads. And they'll tie those threads together and stitch up those cuts. And you'll feel a nice, relaxing, cooling sensation as they start getting to work. And they're activated by blood, so they'll only start working when blood is present. And then when you're all patched up, they'll dissolve into your bloodstream. As time goes by, your body will start creating tissue to heal itself, and it'll use those little threads as a bridge to cross over and replace the cuts with normal skin much, much quicker. Not that I'm accusing you of being a part of any treasonous groups committing illegal acts, but you were brought here by one of my patrons. You have some interesting friends. Scanning your brain chip, which, by the way, had to do to diagnose you, didn't bring up any personal information. Which is interesting because all of them do. Except for the jailbroken chips, of course. Those would only be used by people in the rebel groups. Don't worry, I'm not going to be telling anyone. My allegiances have already been purchased, and I'm content to stay here and help the Forgotten Ones with all the protection I need. Now that we have those cuts closed up, I'm going to spray it with a little biofoam spray. This is going to cover up the salve and make sure nothing else gets in there while it's working, and to seal the cuts off to prevent any infection. It'll wear off on its own over time, but it's okay if you shower with it on, it won't rinse off. I hear a lot of rumors from a lot of people who breeze through here about the rebellion. Some are saying that the CEO and the board of the Amtech Corporation were being held in a room in their office tower by a small crew of rebels that broke inside. I'm not sure what it is the rebels wanted, but all the board members and the CEO walked out with their lives. And that can only mean one thing. They paid to keep them. Question is, how much, or maybe what was it they bought their lives with? You wouldn't happen to know what that was, would you? No, of course you wouldn't know about that, would you? I just find it interesting that after a long period of relative silence, the attacks on Amtech served as a mark of an increase in the rebel movement. Sounds like whatever they got from that ransom is very, very important. Necessary for them to continue their operations. There's still quite a bit of inflammation and bruising from blunt trauma. Nothing is broken, so let's just get that inflammation down for now so you can relax a little more. I'm going to use this light wave therapy machine. And what it's going to do is it's going to pulse the cells in your body and any electronics in your body with light waves across the varying spectrum to give your cells, or the cybernetics, cues on how to behave. And in this case, we want the cybernetics to go back to working like normal, and your cells to start behaving like normal again as well. You might see some different colored lights flashing across your eyes every once in a while. That's totally normal, so just relax and enjoy the light show. It may take a little time for your cells to get the message that they need to behave a certain way and go back to a normal, uninflamed state, but I already see it starting to work. Crazy that not too long ago this technology started with just red light therapy. Now look how far it's come. Okay. One more thing. Now that the body has been healed, we need to send a signal to your brain that you're not in a traumatic situation anymore. And that's where this neural stimulator comes in. You'll feel a very pleasant wave wash over your body as your brain gets relieved of its panic mode response to you being hurt. There you go. Just relax and close your eyes. Let your mind drift off and let go of everything that's happened. Let each of your muscles completely unclench and relax. Try to imagine yourself sinking into the chair, melting down into a puddle. Interesting that you would show up here with what looks like combat injuries after a notable increase in rebel activity. You know, it's not wise to get into fights. You never know how that can end. You're lucky that I managed to get my hands on this advanced technology recently, or else your recovery would have been a much longer and riskier process. I have a question for you. And answer freely, please. Do you think the rebellion is winning? Indeed. I happen to share that belief with you. I received news that a recent rebel operation was a huge success. Nobody knows who the rebellion leader is, but I'm sure it's safe to say they're quite pleased with the bravery and sacrifice of those who participated. I'm sure it was an absolutely integral part of their plans to release all the people trapped in brain supercomputer arrays. Okay. You should be right as rain after a little rest. Everything I can do to help heal you is done. Feel free to stay here and relax as long as you need to, and when you're ready, you can leave out the door in the back with the red handle. Just don't tell me when you're leaving. I don't want anyone to come after me asking when and where you went. And your treatment has already been paid for by that benefactor, so consider us even. Stay safe out there.